And stage 2 load shedding will start from 9 a.m. this morning and continue until Saturday 6 a.m. So some news to help you prepare your day. 9 a.m. till 6 a.m. on Saturday morning. The organisation Undoing Tax Abuse is taking Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane to court. Outa wants to see the documents Mkhwebane used to clear Deputy President David Mabuza of procurement irregularities. Mabuza was alleged to have irregularly bought 3 luxury vehicles for personal use. But in May last year, Mkhwebane found the allegation was not substantiated. Joining me now is Outa CEO Duvenage. Very good morning to you.
Morning, Jane.
What is it that you want?
Well, we want all the documents on which she based her decision. We have reason to believe that David Mabuza, who was the Premier of Mpumalanga at the time, knew about these purchases. And if that's the case, they have transgressed the PFMA. And for that reason, there's enough that puts a big question mark around the individual who's now our Deputy President, wasting taxpayers' money. And as we know, there's no accountability. This is our tax money. And if purchases like this continue, he should be held liable and accountable for that.
Mkhwebane opened a case into this and found no wrongdoing.
Well, she did. She found that there was a transgression of the PFMA, and that
no wrongdoing on his part.
On his part, yes, and that he needed to take action against those who were responsible and report back to her within 2 weeks as well. So we'd like to see exactly what happened there. But the documents, we believe, will show that he did know about this purchase. In other words, the question then starts to arise, is her office being used for political purposes? Is she defending people? We saw big question marks around Mkhwebane on the Estina matter as well, where she ruled there was nothing wrong with his conduct there. We believe otherwise as well, and that has been ruled. Her whole matter was thrown out in court. So we just want to see these documents. And the sad thing here, Jane, is that, we've requested, she's the Public Protector. She is responsible to us, the public, accountable to us, and she needs to provide this information. There's nothing secret about it. And here, now we have to take her to court to get that information, which is sad. Think of the man in the street. Think of the small person who doesn't have the time and the expertise and the ability to do this. They're entitled to this information, and it really frustrates us that we have to now go to court to get this information.
What's her defense likely to be?
I don't know. We'd like to see if she's going to oppose it and on what grounds, but we can't see how the court will rule against us. We have to get that information.
You seem confident in what's in those papers, but as we know, politicians have got very good at distancing themselves from any sort of transgressions that...
Yeah, they are, but there's normally a fingerprint, there's normally a trace. Electronic mails, digital information is very clear, and if it's there, what we think is there, and it can show that she could have and should have known that he was involved, then she has to answer those questions. So we believe there's sufficient information there that says otherwise, in contrary to what she's ruled.
What happens if you don't get your way?
What, in court? The court will have to hear, if they grant her not to provide us with that information, well, then we'll take that decision then. That matter's only been set down for November, sadly. The courts are so full. Nonetheless, our game is a long-term game. We have to persevere, and we're in these matters for the long run.
Does it concern you with the backlog that we're seeing, with the sort of lack of political manoeuvring to clear up the mess, that it gives people a lot of time to clear up their finances and remove their fingerprints?
Yeah, but generally speaking, once the evidence is there, it's there. So yeah, our frustration is just the time. I mean, this case that's also in court with Duvenage appearing today, it's taken years to get there. So the courts are really clogged up, and we've got a lot of work to do to undo the damage of corruption and maladministration in South Africa. But as we said, this is not a short-term process. We have to stay the course. We have to be resilient and persistent in our charges against individuals who we believe are really just ruining it for the whole public.
Wayne, thanks for coming in.
Pleasure.
Thank you.